Hey, we're here and we just recorded a podcast and we're going to jump into Riverside, which is my favorite tool for recording a podcast. Zoom is easy to use, but it's low quality. Riverside, both ends of the conversation record on their own, and then after your podcast is over, both sides upload slowly later on. And it might take minutes or hours, but you end up with a side-by-side interview, and it's HD, it's 1080p, it's 4K, it's better quality than Zoom ends up being, and you can just click in here, and then you say, I'll go to my recording files, and then you say, I want all participants, high quality, and then at the moment, my camera, for compatibility issues, I don't know, it only records at 1080p even though it's a 4K. So maybe in the future someday will be pure 4K, but for now we just say export 1080p grid, and then this comes up and you can edit out any awkward beginning, awkward ending, parts you don't like. You can just highlight the text that you don't like and clip out that part. It's an amazing time to be alive. But then if we do like what we came up with, we can just click on export, and then I like to check both these options, normalize audio and remove background noise, and then I won't do the final click on there because I did it a moment ago. And what that gives you is when we go back, there's this, what we just created 3 minutes ago, and it will say exporting, and then once it's done generating that, it will say exported, and then we can click on this down arrow and download that. But Riverside also has this tool called Magic Clips, and if you're familiar with the Reels, the TikToks, if you've ever used tools like Opus and Veed, lots of these solutions exist to take a long form podcast and give you bite-sized clips. And there's so what I like to do is, as soon as the podcast is over, we go and thank the guest really quick on social media. I dump the entire episode and create a quick social post, and then also post a reel of what we just recorded. So we're not even really producing the podcast yet. We're just saying, hey, here's what we just recorded, coming soon, and the guest also knows, so that way they remember us. But then we also, the meat of it, the most important part is this clip. So we click on Magic Clips, click on Generate, and then it will give us these different clips, and we can click and see which ones we like. So I don't think I liked these first two, but I liked this one. Let me click here and double check. So you don't even have to watch it. It will just take you to that part of the text, and you can decide if it's a good clip that you want to use. Look at the readability of your website and the content layout. And I like, me personally, I like to get my clips under 1 minute. That way it has the most usage, like TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and also a minute is good as far as the short attention span. And so we can change, we can like take out the parts of the text that we don't want, right? If you don't like, say, this sentence, you can highlight and click delete. And then here there's a pause. So if we don't like this little pause in here, we can just click delete. And then if they took out too much, like you can say, well, we kind of needed this other sentence to add context, you can highlight and click restore. But for the most part, we like what they created. But then here's my other maybe problem with these clips, is that I don't want the emphasis to be on me. And it's kind of awkward also if someone else is talking and I'm just kind of like humming and hawing and nodding. So let's say we wanted to have this clip of just the guest, because we are doing that first impression after the podcast. We want to impress them, and if we're kind of hanging along alongside them, we don't like that, right? So we can say, click on this, then click on layout, and then we want full screen. That way it just shows just one person. Give that a moment. And then what we'll do, once this switches over, is click onto different, and we can kind of click this crop icon and then drag him over so that way he's more centered. And then we can click on the text here and decide, all right, well, maybe we'll put it out of his face and then enlarge it. Oh boy. Can we enlarge it? There we go. Enlarge it. Enlarge the box if it's letting me. Maybe make it wider. And then can we make it deeper? Maybe not. Okay. Oh gosh. So we'll make the size XL. We made it as wide as we can. We dragged it out of his face. And then we click and make sure that he's the only one displaying. And let's say you clicked and it like displayed me too much. Where is it? You can do hide. So it's only showing him, and now it shows black, so we can we undo? Click on undo. Did too much. But if you find it switching between the speaker and you just listening and nodding, you can just click on any part where it shows your face and click on hide, and then it will show just the speaker. But luckily, this is only a 59-second range, and it looks really good, right? It's a close-up on him. It's portrait. It's mobile friendly. It has the captions because a shocking number of social media browsers are watching your videos on mute, and that's all we needed. And we can just click on export, and then same as before, just check both of these boxes, export video, and then now we go back to exports. And let me walk you through these last couple of steps here because it's a little weird the first time you see it, but only the first couple times. So we can look at these recordings, right? And here is the full recording of the podcast. You can tell because it's widescreen and it says it's 29 minutes. So this is what I, a moment ago, clicked and dumped the whole interview. And then here are the magic clips. And you can tell the one that we edited because it says that it is exporting. And then when it's done, it will change to exported, and we will be able to grab it, to get it. So now let's get the podcast transcribed. And the tool we like to use for this is called Otter AI. And this account, we're using almost all of our credits. Actually, you know what? I'll use this account for this. Let's go import, browse files, and I'm going to name this something that makes more sense for me as far as my episode numbering. This will actually be, 1216. 1216. And it'll take a little while to upload because it's a huge 70 megabyte video file, but that's okay because these tools will take any file format you give it, right? Audio, video, doesn't matter. Let them figure it out. So you wait a little while this is uploading, and then we check on the Riverside that's still exporting. Okay, that's done. We just waited a few minutes. The upload's done. We can click on Go to Transcript, and on the Riverside end of things, this video clip has exported. So let's click on the down arrow and save that reel to use in a moment. And then we are here in the transcript, and we want to identify the speakers. So we click on this little name, suggested speakers Robert Plank, and then over here is the guest, Jimmy Gibson. And I didn't tag it everywhere else, so I think we might need to go to the top here and rematch speakers. And that'll be important in other activities. But we won't let that hold us up. So this is supposed to say like speaker 1, speaker 2, and then we identify those, but it is still processing. So what we can do here instead is just go here and export, and then file format txt, and that gives us a transcript of everything that was said by both speakers, by both people. And what can we do with this? Well, you can feed it into ChatGPT and have it create SEO titles, social media posts, promotional emails, tweets, all that good stuff. And so what I would normally do is I would go in a new tab here and open up ChatGPT. If it lets me open the new tab, here's ChatGPT. And then I have a custom GPT just for posting on LinkedIn. And it is called Podcast Repost. And what it does is it gives these instructions to ChatGPT, and I'll put these in the comments. I interviewed a guest for my podcast. Write an engaging LinkedIn post that highlights your expertise. Fun tone. Here's the structure. Tag the guest. And the output should be professional. And so what I did here was I first just told ChatGPT, like, make me a LinkedIn post. I didn't quite like what came back. And then I said, well, write me a detailed prompt that says I want it to be this length, to have this, to not have that. And then I had GPT write this for me. And so you can just paste in, put these instructions in the ChatGPT plus the transcripts. But every tool now has AI built in. So we can actually highlight this and right here directly in Otter, go to the AI chat and just paste in the same prompt that I'll give you in the comment under this video. The message is too long. Well, that's just no fun at all. So maybe let me see what comes back if I just use this first part. And then I guess I will have to do it the old-fashioned way. So we'll go back to ChatGPT, and then we'll say, well, here's the transcript. Maybe we'll see which one comes out better. So we'll grab the transcript, which we have open over here. And we will select all this. Come on. Okay. And then paste it in to ChatGPT. Control C and Control V. And then send that. And see what is the better output. Focus your website. And the ChatGPT version. Like this, I like what ChatGPT gave me a lot better. But the Otter built-in AI is not bad and definitely great if you don't have an alternative. And so now we've recorded a podcast, we have a transcript, but most importantly, we have a LinkedIn post and we have a viral clip. So now we can take all these and put them together. We can go to LinkedIn, and then once this loads, we'll post media and then upload from computer. And then browse for the video file that we saved. And once that's coming up, Mr. Jimmy Gibson himself just accepted our invitation. So we can tag him, and here it is. Here's the clip, and we can, if we're not sure which one it is, I believe we can hover over it, and it will tell us what the length of time is, which is 59 seconds. And let me switch back to the desktop and show. Here's the clip. Click on next. We need to add a description. So we copy it out of ChatGPT, click on the copy button, go over here, right click and paste, including the emojis. But then what we need to do really very carefully is go at JIMI Gibson. And of course the transcript thought he was Jimmy spelled the other way, but that's okay. And then my favorite formatting trick is Shift Enter to space these out more properly. Pro tip from Jimmy. And visit Thrive Agency. And does he have a page? He does. So he's tagged in all kinds of ways. So great. Now we have a great first impression with a podcaster. We posted a 1-minute clip, or just under 1 minute, with a blurb on LinkedIn with his name, with his keywords. We tagged him so that way he sees it. He can post it on his own channels. And when we click on our name, and look at our own LinkedIn profile, we scroll down, click on Show All Posts, and then here we go. So here's this guy, Jimmy Gibson, and we have him tagged, we have a video clip, and that is what I do after a podcast is done. It's a new habit I've been incorporating even before the team goes to create the post, add music to the video, create their own clips, post it in their own locations. I just go in right there, built into Riverside where I did the recording, run Magic Clips to get the clips, dump out the recording, run it through Otter so that way I can put it into ChatGPT, create the LinkedIn post, tag him, and heck, it even created hashtags and gave me quotes and gave me bullet points, and everybody wins here because Jimmy especially gets his social graph and his SEO and his good old experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trust enhanced because he is someone who now in posts by someone else, we're talking about website headline and video and business goals, and then I am connected to him both through friends and through posts and for tagging. So really consider this. With your podcast, you're probably missing out on many SEO search keyword opportunities by not taking your transcript and running it through ChatGPT. And you're also probably starved for social media content if you're not creating these viral clips. And if you say, oh, I'll get to that one day, you won't. You're not going to go and grab podcast episodes from 2 years ago. And there's also the barrier to entry when you're using some of these video creation tools. And if you use a platform like Riverside to record, it will create the clips right there for you, and you can put them to use immediately before the next distraction. I'm Robert Plank from DFY Podcast, telling you to create the magic clips, create the reels, to generate social media posts, and most importantly, tag your guests in your post. That way you have a built-in audience because of course they will like, they will comment, they will share the clip of them that you just posted from the podcast that you ran earlier today because they haven't forgotten you yet. And of course they will amplify what you've posted because it benefits them as well. So consider some of these marketing strategies with podcasting, because podcasting is not just content creation, it's also your networking tool. But that sounds kind of iffy and vague. Well, hey, it's concrete and it has clear benefits if you see what I've done right here, where you have a built-in audience of one of your person who you've had on your podcast, then they post and they reshare, and then their audience sees it as well. Robert Plank, done for you podcasting. Talk soon.